Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla Brown and I'm a CPA, a former D1 student athlete, and I'm now an accounting professional. This is my first ever YouTube video. Admittedly, I'm super nervous, never done anything like this. I've talked to people and I've talked to crowds, but never to a camera. This is a little nerve-wracking, but sometimes you gotta step outside your comfort zone. So I'm excited to do that. The reason for creating this YouTube channel is really to offer advice to those who were once me. Anyone in high school, college, thinking about what career journey they want to have, whether that's in accounting, finance, providing them with some guidance, advice, so maybe that they won't make the same mistakes or go through the same hurdles that I did. You guys, a little bit of background of who I am. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I played basketball starting in middle school, but before that I did track, and I admittedly hated it, but I was good at it. My parents made me do it. They thought it would be something good for me to do. They was like, track is applicable to every sport. So they was like, do track, and I was like, no, but as a kid, you can only listen to your parents' advice, so I did. And then once I got of age to where I wanted to quit, they was like, okay, you can quit, but what else are you gonna do after that? And I was like, I want to do basketball. So I started playing basketball in middle school and did that all throughout high school. And I was fortunate enough to get a basketball scholarship to a small school named Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I played for 1 year. I would have played for more, but just due to the circumstances of the basketball team, I decided to quit. Really just focused on my academics, which at the time I was studying I was an accounting major. I graduated at 18 years old, and that's a story for a whole nother day. But I graduated at 18, got my bachelor's in accounting, and after that I decided that I want to do more school, so I got my master's in accounting as well at NC State University in Raleigh, North Carolina. So that was a 1-year program, and my concentration was in enterprise risk management. And then after that, everyone knows that if you stay in accounting long enough, people are going to push in your head, CPA. But I knew that was something I had already wanted to do since I decided to pursue accounting. And so I started my first CPA exam when during my winter break of my master's program. I took BEC and passed on my first try. Got an 80, so I was feeling myself. And then after that, I was trying to study and do my master's program at the same time. That did not work. It was just trying to juggle two things at one time. It was a lot. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on my master's. And then, my last semester of my master's program, and then, as we all know, COVID hit. So COVID hit, we all had to go back home from our master's program, finished up online. And then over that summer, I said, okay, I'll resume the CPA exams again. And then I took audit, and I passed, and so I got an 87, so I was feeling myself. But actually before that I took FAR, I believe, and I think I failed. I got like a 64, so that definitely was a drain to my confidence. But then I went back, I took audit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch to another exam. I took audit, passed, got an 87, so I was like, okay, I got 2 underneath my belt, so I was feeling good. I was like, okay, halfway through. And then after that I went to FAR again, failed again. I think I got a 67, 69. In the meantime, I was studying for reg. I studied reg, failed that the first try. So at this point, as you guys can probably imagine, I was starting to feel frustrated. I had a timeline in my head of when I was going to be done. I was going to be done before I started working. And that was definitely not how the story ended. Kept studying again, FAR, took that again, finally passed on my third try with a 77, and I did not care that it was close to a 75. I was just happy that I passed. I had that off my plate. And then I had to go back to reg, because I took reg in between that testing period and got a 72. But did not care about that 72. All I cared about was that 77 I got on FAR. Nobody could tell me nothing. I knew I was close to that 75 with reg. So I kept that reg again, and I finally passed my last exam in December of 2020. Yes, so I just passed it December 15th, actually, because I will never forget that date of looking at that score, knowing I was finally done. I told myself in the beginning of the CPA journey that I was not going to cry unless I was done, and I held true to that. After that, after seeing those scores, I cried. It was all tears of joy, of course, but just tears of just being tired of waking up early in the morning to study, like really having your life revolve around the CPA exams. And so I was happy to be done. It was just a weight lifted off my shoulder, but it felt like it at times because that's all you really think about. You eat, sleep these exams. Anyone who's watching this who has taken the exam, plan to take the exams, everyone knows that these exams just test any and everything out of you. You have to really make sure that you are 100% devoted to these exams because you will need all of the energy and time that you have within yourself to devote to it. You'll need to tap into all that. But yes, that is my CPA exam journey, or was my journey. And after that, during that time, I actually already was starting my public accounting career at PwC. Had interned with PwC in the summer of 2019, and I had accepted an offer to come back that next year. So I started my time at PwC in September 2020. I did 2 full busy seasons there at the firm in audit, and after that I decided it was time for me to have like a career move and a career shake and do something different. And so I decided to go from audit to advisory. And so now I am at Ernst & Young as an FSO FAS senior associate. So really that fancy term is really just offering accounting advisory advice to companies who need it, whether that's implementing new accounting software, providing them with knowledge about accounting guidance. So that's what we really do. So it's really just accounting, but just really more in the weeds and not so much auditing, trying to find something that's wrong, but we're really just trying to offer the client some advice or anything that they can do better. I know this video is not too long, but I just wanted to introduce myself and also leave anyone who watched this whole video. If you're struggling with the CPA exam, taking the CPA exam or look to take it soon, the one piece of advice that really comes to my mind, which I'll speak on more in the next video, but the main piece of advice that comes to mind is you have to really be devoted and really have all 10 toes down when you start this journey and process, and really make sure that this is what you want to do. The reason why I say that, again, I said it before, is this exam is like a marathon. It's like 26.2 miles, and you have to break it up into 4 different sections, and you're going to be tired. Once you finish one, you're going to feel like that should have accounted for 4 exams in total, but it doesn't. You know, these exams are going to force you to have to study the hardest you ever studied, to be disciplined, the most disciplined you've ever been. Being a former D1 athlete, you know, I thought I knew what it's like to work hard and study hard and just be very focused on the task at hand. But when I finally started the CPA journey, I could tell that this was going to be a journey that was like none other. And passing the CPA exam was the same feeling I got when I got my first Division I scholarship offer. It's a feeling of euphoria, a feeling like you've accomplished something that you've dreamed of your whole life. But I would just say you have to make sure that your life revolves around study, not the other way around. And I know that for some people, it might seem like, well, you can't put your life on hold, and you can't. You got to still make sure that you have fun, and you make sure that you have some downtime in between your process. But also understanding that, you know, you have a task at hand that you want to complete, that you want to get done. And the faster you get it done after you graduate, before you start working, the better it's going to feel. So I would just say, really make sure that you, as an individual, know exactly what you want. Know that you want to take these exams, you want to pass, knowing that you're doing everything that you possibly can to make sure that that comes true, and making sure that your schedule and your priorities reflect that. Because sometimes we say that we want it, or we say that we're studying hard enough, and me, even at times, I had to realize, like, okay, I have to go into another gear. I have to study harder. I have to make sure I'm revolving my study habits around helping me memorize the information and understanding the information for the exam. But yeah, I would tell anyone, you know, still taking it, if you're like me, having failed multiple times, or you passed 2 or 3 already on the first try, continue to stay focused on the goal and the process. It is a process. So don't lose sight of the process. Enjoy the process. Look at it as a long marathon, knowing that there is an end in sight. The end might not be in sight, might not look like it's in sight for some people. Some people still might be trying to get that first one underneath their belt, or they're trying to finish that last one to be done. Wherever you are in your journey, just know that you're almost done, that the light is at the end of the tunnel. and just stay focused on your goal of having CPA at the end of your name. Thank you guys so much for those who did tune in. Thank you so much for listening. In the next video, I'll dive more into like my top 5 tips for taking the CPA exam. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.